The 7-step moral reasoning model.
The 7-step of moral reasoning model. So, number 1 po, moral reasoning. Moral reasoning is the process of evaluating a situation to figure out what is right or wrong and deciding how people should act based on that analysis. So, halimbawa po, isang student nakita ng wallet sa hallway and using moral reasoning, they think about what is right. Kung ibabalik ba sa may-ari yung wallet o ikikip na lang po yung pera. And they consider how the owner would feel and decide to turn it to the lost and found and believing that's the right thing to do. So number 2, gather the fact. So sa first step in the moral reasoning model is to gather all the relevant facts about situation. Understanding the fact help clarify the issue and is necessary before analyzing the ethical aspect, especially in complicated cases. So, halimbawa, may isang estudyante na nagdaya or nag-cheat sa exam. So, bago magdesisyon kung anong dapat gawin, ang unang hakbang ay mangalap ng mga impormasyon. So, like, ano ang mga nangyari? Nahuli siyang nangopya ng sagot? And number 2, ano ang mga patakaran ng school about sa cheating? And ano ang dahilan ng estudyante bakit siya nagdaya? Merong sinasabi na may sakit or hindi siya nakapag-review o kaya gusto niya lang, syempre. Sa pamamagitan ng pagkuha ng sagot sa bata o estudyante, makakapag-desisyon na tayo ng tama about sa tungkol sa pag-cheating and makakapag-reflect na sila ng tamang desisyon. So next is ethical issues. So moral issues should be expressed as conflicting interests, where two sides like P versus Q are the odds, or these conflicting interests create a moral dilemma that needs to be resolved. So moral reasoning represent P versus Q or represent two conflicting interests or values in a dilemma. For example, P might be telling the truth or being honest, and Q could be protecting a friend or keeping a secret. Both to side or making it easier to analyze the moral dilemma. So, halimbawa of moral issues that involves ethical dilemma. Number 1 is true versus loyalty. A student knows that yung friends niya is nagdaya sa test. Then, the moral dilemma whether to tell the teacher's truth o yung katotohanan or stay silent to protect the friends or bilang loyalty.
Identifying the principle. The third step is identifying the principle that have a bearing on the case in any moral dilemma. There are sure moral values or principles that are vital to the rival positions being taken. Identifying principle, ito po yung tumutulong sa atin para maunawaan natin ang mga komplikadong issue. Listing the alternatives. This step involves coming up with the various alternative courses of action as part of the creative thinking included in resolving moral dilemma. So, listing the alternatives, dito mapapalawak natin ang ating mga pananaw at magkakaroon tayo ng mga option na pwedeng maging solusyon para matugunan ang mga hamon. Comparing the alternatives. Fifth is comparing the alternative with the principle. This step involves eliminating alternatives according to the moral principle that have a bearing on the case. In many cases, the case will resolve at this point. The purpose of this comparison is to determine is not forthcoming, then the next step in the model should be considered. So, comparing alternatives, dito mas magkakaroon ka ng matalinong desisyon sa pagkakaroon ng mga option para makamit yung mga gusto mong result.
Weighting the consequences means evaluating both the positive and negative outcomes of each alternative option when the principles guiding a decision do not lead to a clear choice. This process helps in understanding the potential impact of each option and can guide the decision maker toward the most beneficial or least harmful outcome. Example: imagine a company deciding whether to reduce its workforce to cut costs or keep all employees while trying other cost-cutting measures. Making a decision. When making a decision, especially in the context of moral dilemmas, it's important to acknowledge that the process of deliberation can't go on indefinitely. At some point, a choice must be made even if all options have drawbacks. A moral dilemma involves situation where two or more conflicting values or principles are play, and any choice made will come with certain negative consequences or trade-offs. The essence of moral dilemmas is that there are no perfect solutions that completely resolve the issue without some form of cost either to individual or other affected by the decision. This is what makes moral dilemmas so challenging. They force a person to choose between competing moral values where neither option is entirely right or wrong. Example: consider a classic moral dilemma often referred to as the trolley problem. In this scenario, a runaway trolley is heading down a track where it will kill 5 people if nothing is done. You are standing next to a lever, and if you pull it, the trolley will switch to another track, killing 1 person instead of 5. No matter which decision you make, there is a cost, either actively sacrificing 1 life to save 5 or possibly allowing 5 people to die. The decision is painful because there are no morally flawless solution. Each involves a significant moral cost. Second, will, on the other hand, is the faculty that controls decision and actions. Once reason has presented you with various options or conclusions, your will steps in to make a choice. The will is what prompts you to act, saying yes or no based on what your desire, value, or feel is right. Example: after reasoning that the cake is high in sugar and not particularly healthy, your will decides whether to eat it or not. Even with the knowledge that it's unhealthy, you may still choose to eat it because your will is influenced by desire, hunger, or emotional factors. In summary, reason provides the foundation of facts and arguments, while will is responsible for making decisions based on those facts or despite them. Difference between reason and will. Reason and will are two distinct but complementary faculties of the mind. Number 1, reason refers to the mental process of analyzing information, drawing conclusions, and using logic to arrive at truthful or accurate propositions. It involves critical thinking, systematic analysis, and the avoidance of logical fallacies. Reason helps us understand the world through investigation, study, and deduction. Example: suppose you're considering whether or not to eat a piece of cake. You use reason to assess the nutritional value of the cake. You might research the ingredients, calories, and health effects, weighing the pros and cons logically.
Saint Thomas Aquinas, 1225 to 1274. Christian theologian and philosopher. Aquinas is best known for synthesizing Christian theology with Aristotelian philosophy. He was a Dominican friar and one of the greatest theologians of the Catholic Church. Thomistic synthesis. In his major work, Summa Theologica, Aquinas drew heavily on Aristotle's philosophy to explain Christian doctrine, integrating reason with faith. Meaning daw ng Christian theology is ito yung systematic study of divine and religion. And yung Summa Theologica ni Thomas Aquinas is book yun na ina-explore yung nature of God, ethics, and human reason. And then yung Aristotle philosophy naman is isa siyang extension of science, which means na he is attempting to understand the whole or intindihin yung kabuuan, including the universe, humanity, and the culture. 5 ways. Aquinas proposed 5 proofs for the existence of God rooted in Aristotle's concept of causality. These include arguments from motion, causality, contingency, degree, and design. Natural law. Aquinas adopted Aristotle's ideas of natural law, the belief that morality is based on human nature and reason, and that moral truths are self-evident through the understanding of human purpose. So, yung 5 ways ni St. Thomas Aquinas is nagpo-propose siya ng 5 rules about existence of God. And then, yung natural law naman po, so, inadapt ni Thomas Aquinas yung idea ni Aristotle na yung morality daw is nagbe-base sa human nature. And yung moral truth is self-evident, which means through the understanding of human purpose. Utilitarianism is an ethical theory that suggests that the best action is one of that maximizes overall happiness or well-being. It is a form of consequentialism, meaning that the morality of an action is determined by its outcomes rather than by intrinsic properties or the intentions behind it. Meaning ng utilitarian ay isa siyang theory of morality na nag-advocates ng actions like happiness or pleasure na nagkakos ng unhappiness or harm. For example po, when it comes to making social, economic, or political decisions po, yung aim ng utilitarian philosophy is for the betterment of society po as a whole.
Digital ignorance, epistemic challenges in the cyberspace. Epistemic bubbles. An epistemic bubble is a social epistemic structure in which other relevant voices have been left out, perhaps accidentally. An epistemic bubble is an informational network in which important sources have been excluded by omission, perhaps unintentionally. It is an impaired epistemic framework which lacks strong connectivity. Members within epistemic bubbles are unaware of significant information and reasoning. So yung epistemic bubble is tumutukoy siya sa kalagayan na kung saan yung isang tao or grupo is nakakulong sa isang uri ng limited information and hindi sila nakakatanggap ng iba't ibang perspective or opinion mula sa iba. And sa ganoong sitwasyon, yung mga idea, beliefs, and information na sumusuporta lamang sa kanilang kasalukuyang pananaw, yung kanilang narinig or tinatanggap. And yung opinion or information na taliwas or iba sa kanilang paniniwala is kadalasan hindi nila pinapansin or hindi napapansin. Like halimbawa, si Maria is palaging nanonood ng mga videos and lagi siya nagbabasa ng mga articles mula sa iba't ibang website na nagsusupport sa kanyang paniniwala about sa politics. So dahil doon, hindi siya nakakarinig ng mga argument mula sa ibang panig and naniniwala lang siya na yung pananaw niya is yun lang yung tama. And sa madaling salita, si Maria is nasa loob siya ng epistemic bubble na kung saan hindi siya na-expose sa iba't ibang uri ng opinion or idea na magpapalawak ng kanyang pangunawa sa isang issue. Echo chambers. An echo chamber is an environment where a person only encounters information or opinions that reflect and reinforce their own. An echo chamber is a social epistemic structure from which other relevant voices have been actively excluded and discredited. Members of echo chambers have been brought to systematically distrust all outside sources. Chamber ay tumutukoy sa isang grupo o kapaligiran kung saan ang mga miyembro ay sadyang hindi nagbibigay ng halaga sa mga idea, opinion, or information na mula sa labas ng kanilang pananaw o paniniwala. Sa ganitong kalagayan, aktibong isinasantabi ang mga hindi kaparehong opinyon at binibigyang halaga lamang ang mga ideyang umaayon sa paniniwala ng grupo. Ang ganitong kapaligiran ay mas malala kaysa sa epistemic bubble, dahil hindi lamang ito kawalan ng akses sa iba't ibang pananaw, kundi aktibong pagtanggi sa mga opinyon na hindi kaayon. Sa loob ng epistemic chamber, ang mga miyembro ay malalim na naniniwala na ang mga nasa loob ng kanilang grupo o pananaw ay hindi mapagkakatiwalaan o ignorante. Kaya't tumitibay ang kanilang sariling paniniwala kahit pa may mga kontra-argumento o ebidensya laban dito. Halimbawa, yung mga member ng isang political group is maaaring nasa loob ng echo chambers na kung saan hindi sila tumatanggap ng mga balita or information mula sa mga media outlet na hindi sumusuporta sa kanilang ideolohiya or ideology. So, yung difference ng epistemic bubbles and echo chambers, yung epistemic bubbles is ang isang tao is naniniwala lang siya kung ano yung nakikita and naririnig niya. And hindi siya na-expose sa iba't ibang information kasi hindi niya ito pinapansin or hindi napapansin. While sa echo chambers naman, sa echo chambers is as in yung isang tao is ine-exclude niya yung information na taliwas sa paniniwala niya. And parang hindi niya literal na pinapansin yung mga information na iba sa paniniwala niya. Fake news. Fake news refers to false or intentionally misleading information that is presented as legitimate news. It is often created to misinform or deceive people, typically to influence public opinion or to achieve political, financial, or social objectives. Fake news can include fabricated stories, exaggerations, or distorted facts and is commonly spread through social media, websites, or other digital platforms. Ang fake news ay tumutukoy sa maling balita o impormasyon na sinasadyang ipinapakalat upang manlinlang, magpakalat ng kasinungalingan, o manipulahin ang opinyon ng mga tao. Karaniwang ginagamit ito upang lumikha ng takot, galit o pagkalito. At madalas makita sa social media, hindi mapagkakatiwala ang website o iba pang plataporma. Halimbawa, may kumakalat na post sa social media na nagsasabing ang pag-inom ng maraming tubig ay makakapagpagaling sa COVID-19. And wala itong basihan mula sa mga eksperto at ito ay isang halimbawa ng fake news na maaaring magdulot ng maling information at panganib sa kalusugan ng publiko. Intellectual virtues. Intellectual virtues are positive traits of mind and character that help individuals think critically, seek truth, and acquire knowledge effectively. These virtues guide how people approach learning, problem solving, and the evaluation of ideas. They include qualities such as curiosity, open-mindedness, intellectual humility, and perseverance. Essentially, intellectual virtues enable a person to reason well, engage in thoughtful inquiry, and contribute meaningfully to discussions and understanding. Ang intellectual virtues ay mga katangiang nagpapahusay sa kakayahan ng isang tao na mag-isip ng mabuti at tama. Kabilang dito ang mga ugali tulad ng pagiging matalino, mapanuri, mausisa at bukas sa mga bagong ideya. Ang mga virtues na ito ay nakakatulong sa paghahanap ng katotohanan at pag-unlad ng kaalaman. Halimbawa, si Juan ay laging bukas sa mga opinyon ng iba at handang makinig sa mga bagong pananaw. Kapag may mga bagong impormasyon, hindi siya agad naniniwala. Sa halip, inaaral niya ito at sinisigurong tama bago tanggapin. Ipinapakita ni Juan ang intellectual virtue ng pagiging bukas ang isip at mapanuri.